Everybody, you are watching and listening to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Mr. Jonathan Simmons, and we are running a little bit behind today. And we are coping with some issues here that always happen when you are trying to do one of your best shows of the year, trying to end out with a spectacular bing, bang, and a boom. I am going to not be seen for the first part of this broadcast because we're getting set here up in the studio. And we're going to bring our lovely co-host on, and she is going to entertain you fellas with her beautiful visage. And then we'll be back on with the show in just a moment once we get set to rock and roll. So just bear with us here. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Keep it locked right here. We're going to go to another little quick break, and then we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Don't go nowhere, please. We'll be back in just a moment. Here we go. All right, guys, we're sorry we're breaking up here just a little bit, but we're going to go to a quick break one more time, and then we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show once we're live and set. Here we go. And there I am. Thank you, everybody, for bearing with me here, especially those of you on WIGO 1570. I know you were thinking, we don't hear any audio. Well, again, we had to do a little multitasking here, and we are so thankful that we are now finally on ZL. And we thank those of you who are watching us on the replay on Periscope. Also, those of you who are watching us on demand on YouTube, and those of you watching us live on Facebook and on Twitch. We welcome you, Twitch viewers, as well. Okay, I know what you guys have been waiting for. You say, hey, Minister, we're tired of seeing you. We want to see the lovely lady that you've been promising. Okay, we're going to bring her on here. She was a multi-sport athlete in college, also a beauty queen, and she is the reigning, I want to get this right, I think it's Ms. America International. Well, let's just bring her on. Latrice Cunningham, welcome back to the Real Talk Sports Show.
Hello.
Hey.
Patricia Dolman.
Oh.
I'm married now.
I got to remember that. You know, that's my bad. Listen, good to have you back with us here as always. Very, very excited. Just to let viewers know, so a little backstory. So those of you who don't know, I'm actually work also for Allen Vigil, Ford and Lincoln, who's actually one of our sponsors for high school football. And today I had a customer come in and they said, we want to buy our truck now. So we could not refuse that. And we said, okay, we want to go ahead and take care of them. And of course, that meant I had to make the mad dash from the dealership to the station. But now we're here and we're very, very excited to be here. Well, listen, Tree, there's been a lot of stuff going on. As always, every weekend we have a chock full of sports. So we're going to be talking about NFL and your Lions and your Vikings. We're going to talk, of course, Our Atlanta Falcons. We got to talk about the Falcons. We'll bring on D. Orlando Ledbetter, our favorite Falcons sports writer. He'll be joining us in the latter part of the broadcast, right around 8:45. We're also going to be talking college football. College football players have started. Georgia's in town to play the Peach Bowl, so we'll talk about that. And of course, we have to talk a little basketball because you being a former baller, the Hawks are 3-0.
Yes.
Can you believe that? 3-0. I mean, seriously, could you have imagined, considering all this team had went through, that they'd start off the season 3-0?
No,
It's just
I couldn't. And I watched the game the other night when they were leading the entire way, and then they lost the lead, and I was shocked that they pulled it off, but I was so happy that they did.
And isn't that really kind of the difference so far we've seen this year is that, last year we watched them a lot and they would get a lead. They were like the Falcons. They would get a lead and everything would kind of go, and then they would lose the lead. They just couldn't hold it. But this year we might have something up in here.
We might.
So now what do you think? Obviously, when you were in college, you were kind of played, I believe, more the big man's role. I guess, did you play power forward or kind of help me out here?
So I actually did not play basketball in college. I chose not to. I played basketball in high school, and we won 3 state championships. And I played the 4 and the 5. So I loved the 4. That was my main position.
That's what I figured. So now what do you think about the Hawks being led by Trae Young, who is just really, he's on pace if he keeps up to be in the MVP candidate conversation?
I think that is really phenomenal. The 1 is also, they're the person who leads the team. It's kind of like with the NFL, the quarterback runs the team. When you're in basketball, it's your point guard that's running the floor. They're running the team. They're running the offense. They're telling people where to go. And I think that Trae Young is just phenomenal. It's really great watching him play, and we're really awesome to have him here in Atlanta.
Yeah, no doubt. And so, say it again. You say special.
Something special.
Well, no doubt, and I will go ahead and mention the fact, I don't get full disclosure. There have been times where I thought to myself, especially after the spectacular close of the season that Luka Doncic had last year, and the fact that he's a big man, as you know, he's a big man, and he seems to get his points a little bit easier. I thought, okay, well, did the Hawks make a mistake? But clearly, Trae Young is making sure to prove me and all the naysayers wrong. That it was an even trade. Both teams, I think, got players that are going to be, multi-year all-stars at the end of the day.
Yes, and that's what it's about. He's definitely producing, and I think that was a great choice.
And also, speaking of those Hawks, so I mean, they've seemed like they've added some people down low where you like to play. They brought in Clint Capella. Now explain to people how important it is that you have from those positions. For those of you who are not familiar, the 4 and the 5 is a power forward would be a 4 and a center would be a 5. Just explain to people a little bit how important it is to have someone in those positions that can do more than just score.
Yeah. So the main thing with that position, which a lot of people may not understand, a big game changer is rebounding the ball. So when you have someone that is rebounding the ball and they can get defensive rebounds as well as offensive rebounds, which offensive rebounds are really great because then you can put the ball right back up. That's an easy score, but also just defense. You have to control the paint, and you want to make sure that teams are not able to just come and just score through your paint. Like whenever I play basketball, I always call the paint my house. This is my house and you are not coming in it. And so for us to have teams that have great 4 and 5 position players that defend the floor and defend the opponents and can box out and get the rebounds, because rebounding is key. Rebounds a lot of times are a game changer. That is really phenomenal. So we always have to make sure if your team is successful, you always know you have someone that's down there rebounding and putting in the work.
Yeah, no doubt. So one of the things that people, I think, do forget is the fact that it's so important how rebounds, people think about rebounds, they think about defensive rebounds, how you want to limit a team to just one shot. But I think people don't understand how important defensive rebounds are in terms of actually igniting your offense.
Yes. How many great plays do you see where a team got a defensive rebound and then they throw it down the court, and then a player like LeBron or another great player takes it and they just go and do this fabulous dunk? And it changes the momentum in a lot of games. Teams can be down, but you can get that great rebound and have that great score, and then the momentum just changes. And we know in sports, it's all about momentum.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, and again, it is. I think that's one of the things that the Hawks are going to be looking forward to this year because really they're 3-0, and I think Capella just played his first game. He got some action yesterday, so it's going to be something to see as this team continues to grow. And don't you know how this Travis Schlink? He's like the wizard behind the glass. Don't be surprised if he doesn't make some more moves during the offseason as well.
Yes. I will not be surprised. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the Hawks are going to do this year.
Well,
Yeah.
I already know as a baller, you already psyched. Well, listen, guys, we appreciate all those of you again have tuned into us. You're watching and listening to, if you don't know, the Real Talk Sports Show, and we broadcast to you on multiple platforms. We're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube Live, we're on YouTube on Demand, we're on Periscope, which will soon will be Twitter TV, and we're even on Twitch. And for those of you who say, I can't watch it, I got to get to my radio, no problem. You can listen to us on the radio at WIGO 1570, Atlanta's Incredible Radio. Or, now here's the cool thing. You actually can listen to us on the app. Go and download the free TuneIn Radio app. If you don't have it, download it. It's free. Put in WIGO 1570 in the search engine, and voila, you'll find us broadcasting to you right here and right now. Listen, guys, as always, when we're on the radio, we got to take a little station break because somebody got to pay them daggone bills. Again, you listen to the Real Talk Sports Show, and I'm your host, Mr. Jonathan Simmons, and that beautiful lady right there is the one and only Miss Tree Dolman, and she's got a guest. We might have a third co-host. All right, I can't mess with you guys. All right, just stay right here. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Stay tuned. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. You grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
All right, guys, I get that headset right. We are back here. You listen to the Real Talk Sports Show as we broadcast to you again on multiple platforms. We are on WIGO 1570 if you want to listen to us just on the radio. We also are broadcasting on Facebook Live. We're also on Periscope, which is Twitter TV for those of you who don't know. We're also on Twitch. That's right. We're on Twitch, and we're on, let's see, I got them all. On, of course, on YouTube, both live and on demand. Well, we're going to shift gears a little bit here. It is college football time. It's championship time. It's bowl time, and I got a young man that knows a little bit about football. He played right here in the state of Georgia in high school. He also went to the University of Georgia as well, and then he also went on to matriculate in the NFL. I'm gonna bring him on to our screen, Mr. Amalo Herrera. Welcome back to our show, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, well, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna take you back to the Wayback Machine. I'm trying to remember you. I know you played high school in Clayton County. Was it North Clayton you played for?
North Clayton.
Say it again.
North Clayton, yes.
North Clayton. Okay, so you probably don't remember this, but I think it was maybe about 7 or 8 years ago, 9 years ago, when you were a senior, you guys actually came to WIGO, and you guys were in the studio in the booth. So, man, we're going like full circle.
No, I actually do remember that. I remember your face. It was me and Coach Hack, and then we had one more player with us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I actually remember. I'm good with remembering faces. So I definitely remember. I definitely remember coming to the studio with Coach.
Well, man, I'm just feeling good to remember the OG after these years, man. Well, listen, again, man, it's just great to have you on the show. Talk to us a little bit. First of all, I don't know if you were able to keep up because obviously you got a lot going on, but Clayton County High School sports showed out, man. They had, I think, like 5 teams that got to postseason this year.
No, I actually, so I volunteer at North Clayton, and so I'm pretty in tune with what's going on in Clayton County. I know Coach Hack did his thing at Riverdale again. Lovejoy had a pretty decent season. Who else is out there? That's pretty much that might be it. On the Clayton County side.
Don't leave out them Cardinals over at Jonesboro now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's got to make you feel proud being a Clayton County
pretty
alum.
decent.
We said they were pretty decent.
Oh man, it's exciting. That was pretty decent. No, I love Clayton County. I mean, it's a lot of talent out there. It's just so many schools that's being built out there, and talent is shifting around. So it's good to see some of the programs start back generating those athletes and having better years, and then seeing the program like North Clayton, who was at the top. Now we're kind of at the bottom, but we're starting to rebuild and get that talent back over there now. So it's exciting to see those young guys.
Well, the thing about it, when I think about you, you're really part of a Clayton County legacy that goes back many years. So many great players came out of Clayton County. Yourself, going back in the '80s, you had, of course, the legendary Hines Ward. Matter of fact, the field obviously is named after him now. Just so many great guys. Hastings, that later went on to play for the Steelers. You just have this long legacy, man, of guys that have come out of Clayton County on the south side and really done some good stuff. So kudos to you for being part of that crew. And again, thankful to you that you're back here with Clayton County. Now we're the only radio station left full time in the county. So we appreciate you showing us a love.
No problem, man. No problem. I'm always gonna show love to my people.
Well, so let me ask you, you played in bowl games, obviously, with Georgia. What are these guys looking at now? I mean, well, first of all, how do you think you guys have coped with the COVID, man? Because this is a weird thing. You guys had to go through it at North Clayton.
Yeah, I mean, it's they have a lot of different resources there, and one of the main resources with being in a college and a huge program like Georgia is they have the means to protect the players a lot more than we do in college. So they can protect them. They can put some rules in place for them, and that can help kind of control some of the players and control some of the things they do. But the COVID situation is a whole nother situation for everyone. So we just have to be safe, and those guys, they want to be safe, and they get tested very often. So,
I'm sure they do.
The program, the NCAA, the NCAA and the SEC are looking out for them and protecting them, and definitely protecting, football.
Well, now, okay, we know the COVID's been a tough thing for everybody, but now, again, you playing in bowl games. What's our team looking at now going to a New Year's Six game? Kind of just give us a peek inside the locker room, what players are feeling here as they get ready to this game.
So a lot of players are feeling different things. This is very different now, especially with a lot of players opting out now. So that's a whole another layer itself. But going into bowl games, you're just looking for those seniors, you're looking to end your career off on top. And for those young guys, they're coming in, they're trying to, if they get a chance to play, make that statement, show what the program is gonna be next year, and what the fans and what the country have to look forward to when those guys get their chance to play more in the season next year. So you feeling excitement for the guys leaving, and you feeling excitement for those guys who finally getting a chance to play and getting to show their talents.
Well, no doubt, man. Like I say again, it's certainly impressive. Now, how do you? And I'll let Tree ask the question after this. But one of the things I've always kind of been curious about is how the SEC teams, especially look at teams like Georgia, Alabama, teams that go in every year now expecting to go to the national title, games and to the playoffs. As a player, how do you deal with saying going to a Sugar Bowl, going to a Peach Bowl, when in the back of your mind you're thinking if we had won one more game, we would have been the college football players? How do you make that adjustment to get up for this game and still play your best?
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kind of hard. I've definitely been in that situation before where really 4 years in a row. My first 2 years, we had letdowns in the SEC championship, where we're just one game is just a few seconds away. The LSU game, we're a half away from going to the national championship. So it's kind of like it, and it comes from having those leaders in there that kind of help you prepare and get ready to play when you basically not playing for anything. You playing for pride. You playing to show that you love the game at the end of the day. And so you want to be able to show that pride. You want to be able to show that you love the game. And so you have to go out there and play hard, because if you don't, I mean, you can get hurt or somebody else can get hurt. I remember my last year at Georgia. This quick story. My last year at Georgia, it was practice. We was practicing. We had Belk Bowl. And we was practicing like the week before, a couple days before Christmas, before we got ready to go home. And so we was studying. Nick Chubb, the running back at the time, he ran hard all the time, and he's running, and I'm like, bro, why are you running so hard? And he was like, bro, you don't want to fly? I'm like, what? He's like, you don't want to go fast? I'm like, all right, cool, you got it. I had to start practicing hard from that day, because it was one of those days where it's like, what we playing for. But him saying that put me in a different mode that made me go out there and practice a little bit harder that day before Christmas, the couple of days before Christmas. So you have to just play hard, no matter what. Get up and go play hard.
That's real talk right there. A tree, I've been hogging the mic. You got any questions for young Mr. Herrera?
Definitely. So thank you for coming to the show. But the question I have for you, actually, you led right into it. What advice would you have for our high school football players who aspire to play in college? And here in Georgia, football is just all of everything. So what advice do you have for the high school players that would love to follow in your footsteps and play for the University of Georgia?
The first and most important thing is have your grades. You have to have your grades in order, if you want to do anything in life, even if you want to go to the smallest of the smallest school. You have to have your grades in order. That's one thing. The second thing, just prepare like a champion. Prepare like you already there. I think most kids think and this is no knock on them, but they think that they better than they are already. And so a lot of them think they're at a point where they're not at yet. So they have to prepare. You have to prepare even harder. And so even if that's getting with a trainer, hitting your coaches up, asking them what you can work on, and being able to take that criticism, then that help your max. Like your ceiling is right here, but you get that coaching and being able to be coachable, it'll take your ceiling a lot higher. And also just putting it on film, every play. Hate to talk about myself, but when I was in high school, I played every defensive play like it didn't matter. I don't care how many offers I had at the time. I probably had 30. There was one point where I had 30, and there was one point where I had 0. Where I had 0, I still played the same way I had 30. And so most kids, and it's a lot different now at different times. But you just gotta stay hungry, and you gotta have that want to get to the next level. Even when you know that you can get there, you still gotta have that want. And if you don't have the ability and don't have the talent as other people, you gotta work even harder to get there. And that's when that being comfortable helps you get there.
I love that. And one thing that I noticed, I talk about this all the time as well with sports, is how when we were playing, we were a different type of athlete than these younger kids are nowadays. And a lot of our younger kids, they don't really have the desire to really work hard. They just think if they step on the field that they automatically get the W, or, you go to practice, you automatically get the scholarship. And we all know that that's not the case. So can you please tell us some of these sacrifices and just some of the things that you went through to help you get to the next level?
Shoot, like I said, I was a lot different because I didn't. My first year, I just played football. My second year of high school, I didn't know if I really wanted to play football, so I didn't do anything over the summer. And then I started playing when school started. My junior year is when I homed in on the talent and when I focused on it. And I just went hard like all the time. And I actually started and that's it. And then I really didn't like I focused but didn't get focused on it. But my senior year came around, so the spring of my junior year is when I kind of got focused because that's when the offers started coming in. And so that's when I kind of realized that, oh, I didn't know that I can do this and go do this. So I kind of honed in on it, got focused on my grades because I mean, I was never a terrible student, but I was, a C student. But I got focused in the classroom my senior year, which boosted my GPA to a 3.0. Um, and I just did a lot of football camps and I worked at football. Like I had already had 20 plus offers at the time. But I went to every football camp and I didn't watch people. I actually participated and I won awards and more people seeing the hunger that I had to be great. And it also helped me work on my skills and helped me develop relationships with different players because I was out there getting it in even when I didn't have to. And so I just put the work in and then when it came football season, you know, with pads on, I was working with my team, and being there with them helped me develop into a leader. So now I got the on field, I got the off field with the classroom, and then the other people outside who don't see me playing football games, they got to see me work at camp. So it all played a part just having on field, off the field, and another network of people to see you play. And so it's just grinding, and I sacrificed obviously a lot of time. A lot of time got sacrificed from I wasn't doing anything but doing football and going to school. So I sacrificed everything, having fun all the time, because I knew what I had at stake and what it was going to pay off to be someday.
Yeah, and that's phenomenal. And I love that you said that you volunteer. So please tell us, why do you feel it's important to volunteer? What put that in your heart and what leads you to do it?
Really, it was man, it was crazy. So I kind of work in the financial world now, and I get to pick my own schedule. And so 2 years ago, um, like I get off work and I have free time, and I just like, all right, I'm just gonna go to my high school because the high school coach there, Cal Burnett, he was my high school coach at one point. And he played at the University of Georgia. His brother Morgan Burnett played at Georgia Tech and then won a Super Bowl with Pittsburgh. And so we have a great tradition at our school. And he had just came back a few years ago, and I was like, I'm just gonna go, check it out. And I started watching, and then I was like, I'm just gonna come on defensive days. And you know how once people start seeing you, and then you start helping people out, and then it's like, he gonna be here every day. And so it started depending on me, and then I got attached to, some of the talent out there. And so it was just like, uh, I'd be free. I'd take the sacrifice of, making a little extra money and just come out here and focus on these guys because they it was crazy because they didn't know who I was. So they seen it's pictures of me in the school. I have trophies, I have awards, but they didn't know who I was. And they didn't know until this year. I was with them for most of the season last year. I think I was with them all year last year. I was with them all year last year. And then this past season, they was taking pictures, and it's a picture of me in the gym in my uniform for defense player of the year, and it was like, you know, and I was like, nobody ain't wearing my number, and they was like, what number you at? And I was like, 8, and they was like, that's you in there? I was like, yeah, and it was crazy that they didn't know because I haven't been I come to games, but I never actually spent the time to, kind of develop a relationship or kind of even speak to them more than one time because a lot of people are in and out these kids' life and they don't focus on the kids. So, they just see people and it breeze by. But being able to be, one of the people who made it to the league, who got a college degree, who played at the highest level, it's good to come back and show them that football ain't all you can do, and then be able to, show them that you can make it though.
Well, I think that is just phenomenal. And I love that you're making a big difference because we all know with our youth that it's really your time that you put in that makes a difference. That's something that they will always remember and they'll take it with them for the rest of their lives. So thank you for all that you do. That's really great. And I love that they were looking up to you and they didn't even know who you were. And now they know that, hey, you're that number 8 on the wall. And it just makes it all that more special. So keep up the great work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's kind of taken from an OG. It's kind of funny, man. When the young guns, they don't even know who you are. They're like, who? What? You did what? Well, yeah, man. It's got to make you feel good. And just listening to you talk to Tree about, just that whole idea of just, hey, I'm here because I want to be here. I'm not looking for no attaboys. I'm looking out to get a check. I'm just here to support young guys because really, I guess you're just paying it forward because you had guys that sold into your life too when you were younger.
Yeah, I did. I mean, Coach Hackman showed, he showed me a lot. He instilled some things in me that I still use to this day. And they gave me a lot of time because I didn't live by North Clayton. I lived in the city of Atlanta at that time. And so they took a lot of their time to drive me back home after practice, help pay for camp, help do a lot of things that I wasn't able to do and my family wasn't able to do because we didn't have the resources. So it's good to just pay back and, give love to those guys coming up.
Well, we always appreciate everybody showing the love. So let's talk a little bit we talked about the challenges it was for, guys to get ready for a bowl game. We got some folks from some of the various Georgia Facebook page watching. So you see, we got an alum right here, a bad man. So looking at this Cincinnati squad, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at them much. They have a dual threat quarterback. They're coming in 10-0. As you know from going down this road before, you guys always would get, if you didn't go to the SEC championship or if you did and didn't get to the football playoffs, whoever you played in that New Year's Six Bowl, they strapped it up because they were like, we're going to prove something against Georgia. What do you think that Georgia has to do defensively to slow the Cincinnati team down, which has looked pretty good so far this year?
First off, we have to come ready to play. That's the biggest thing. We don't want another upset like Texas did a few years ago. So we had to come ready to play. But we had to come ready to play. The Cincinnati team is, they are who they are. They can make a case that they need to be in the college football playoffs because they didn't lose a game. So they're pretty good. They're a pretty good ball club. No matter who they played, it's college football. So everybody is on scholarship. A lot of those dudes on scholarship. So it don't matter about who you play. It matters about waking up and going out there and scrapping it up and showing that you deserve to be there. So we have to definitely slow them down on offense. Definitely slow their quarterback down. I don't know with all the guys we have out right now. So hopefully the young guys, step it up. Like I talked about earlier, they should be excited to finally, get their starting chance and show and prove that they deserve to be out there and show what we have to look forward to next year. So that's the most important thing is having those young guys ready to play.
Well, no doubt, man. Like I said, this guy, Desmond Ridder, is their trigger man. He's a true dual threat quarterback. And the thing that he's shown is what that clutch gene, and the same thing. You can be a practice ball player. You can be a regular season dude. But when that money time, you got to be that dude. And so this guy Ridder has shown that he's, I think, like 4-0 against other AP top 25 teams. Quarterback rating off the charts. 4 interceptions, only one. I mean, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception. So there's no doubt that that Georgia has their hands full. Let's go to social media real quick here. We're going to jump on here to Periscope. Our man, affiliate man. Now, he wants to talk Falcons. He can't wait, bro. He's just chomping. He wants to talk about should the Falcons move on from Matt Ryan and Julio. Affiliate man, keep it locked. Because, by 8:45, we do Falcons. We bring in D-Led. But I had to pop your question on since you threw it out there. But, yeah, we're gonna chop that up a little bit. Before we let you go, what do you think the Falcons, like I said, you played in the NFL. Looking at this team from the outside, what do you think the Falcons kind of need to do? Oh, he already shaking his head. We're in trouble.
Look, so all right. So I'm not a Falcons fan, but I gotta be biased because my best friend played for the Falcons. That's a fact. But I think we just need to develop identity. I think we need to develop our identity. That's the most important thing. I think that I'm treading waters because my guy plays, so I'm treading waters. But I think we need to develop our identity. It's a lot of things that can be different. I'll say, it's a lot of play calling issues that I feel. Really not game management type. It's a lot of bad game management that get the Falcons killed. So I'll just leave it at that. It's a lot of game management that get the Falcons killed, whether that's offense and defense. It's a lot of bad play
I
calling
see
when the game on the line.
he's trying to be nice. He's trying to be nice. All right, let me do this real quick. I'm gonna shift back one more time to college football. All right, we got the Final Four here. I'm not even gonna get into the question about should Ohio State be in there at 6-0. I'm gonna leave that alone. Tree, what you think?
What do I think about? I can't respond about the Ohio State.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
So,
I already know Michigander. Go ahead.
I'm saying, yeah, I'm a Michigander, so I love the Big Ten. So I personally, even though I cannot stand Ohio State, go blue.
Right.
We all know how we feel about that, but I see it from 2 standpoints. I see how they're in there just because of the quality team, and they did get started late. So it's not really their fault that they were not able to play as many games as the other teams. At the same token, I do also see how a lot of the other teams are saying that it's really not fair that they are in there when they have not played at least 10 or 11 games this season. But it's kind of like a toss-up. So Ohio State, I think they're really going to come out and perform because I think that they have more to prove to people who keep saying that they should not even be there. I think it'll be a great game.
See, Stero, you see, we got a homer for the Big Ten right there. I ain't gonna say anything, but let's go to before we do anything else. Let's go to social media real quick. We got the comments buzzing up here. Let's go to social media. First of all, back to Periscope real quick. Affiliate man, yeah. Okay, see, man, he just throwing shit at them Falcons again. All right, let's go ahead and go. Let's go to Facebook. I think there's a shout out from Armello. Let's see here. We got a shout out here. Yep, he says, "Keep up the good work. Proud of you and your accomplishments." That's from Rod Fickle in the building on Facebook. So big shout out to you, bro.
Appreciate
big shout
it,
out.
Rod.
There you go. And I feel like, man, okay, he's trying to be nice. He's gonna get an Ohio State here. Let's see what he has to say. He says Ohio State deserved to be in there, but nobody's beating Alabama. Wow.
Alabama does always show up, but I don't know because Clemson. Hey,
Kamala, what you think, man? And this observation of Big Four, you think that Clemson got the juice to take it to Alabama again?
No, it was special. It was a special time at Clemson. Then they had a lot of special wide receivers, a lot of special DBs. It was special all across the board. I mean, I don't think that they have the firepower as they once did because they would have beat Notre Dame without Trevor Lawrence if they still had the firepower. But I think Alabama. I mean, you've seen it, I've seen it, we've seen it. Nobody can roll with them when the game's actually on the line because, they just put their foot to the metal even if it's a close game, is Alabama's gonna come out on top. They're gonna find a way to win. That's all. That's what
Well,
they
listen.
do.
I mean, they look like it on paper. They look like the big bad beast. But let's point out this though. The fact remains is that Clemson and Alabama have played 3 times in the playoffs, and they done got. I mean, Deshaun got them the first time, and then they just. I mean, last year my boy Trevor Lawrence, they just crushed them. So I mean, Clemson ain't scared of them. That's all I can say about it. They ain't scared. Let's go back here to Facebook here. Again, we have some comments from our man, Mr. Donald Fagan. Big shout out because that's not just Donald Fagan, that's a pastor. Fresh Bread Christian Ministry does a great job here in Clayton County, but also, like most of us preachers, a big time football fan. He said Alabama is expansion of NFL team. Woo wee. Well, they do stack them deep. There's no doubt about it. Well, listen, we got to go to a break here on WIGO 1570. Marlo, you hang out with us. And, of course, the lovely Miss Latricia, you can't go nowhere. So just keep it locked right here, guys. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Please, we need you. Hang on.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our #1 priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
All right, we want to make that a quick break here and get right back to the show. We're going to go to social media one more time here. Pastor Fagan says Alabama is very deep. And, of course, both of you guys know how important it is to have a team that is in a situation where they do have depth, where if you do have a starter or two go down, you can bring guys off the bench or gals off the bench and be next man up.
That's very important. We all know that star players go down all the time. It's a fact of life when you're playing sports. And so you always have to make sure that you have that second, third man that's ready to come in and produce and can be a game changer and not be scared and be ready to come and play and win the championship. That's what it's all about.
They're saying, Marlo, because you part of that Georgia machine. So you already know.
Yeah, no, you definitely have to stack them. I mean, the way things are now, you have to load up and be prepared for people to leave, be prepared for people to get hurt. So you always have to keep the next man ready. And I think we do a good job of that. I know Alabama do a heck of a job with that. So it's an important part of the game.
No doubt. Well, listen, man, how can people find out more about you? Social media, website. Of course, if you want to direct them to North Clayton, I know you're over there. Anywhere people can find you. And here's how we do it in Real Talk Sports. When we have that done, we always say the floor is yours.
So basically, you can reach me at Instagram, Twitter, 5 Deuce DEUCE. Herrera, Herrera. That's my name. Facebook, Marla Herrera. You can find me on my website as well. It's marlaherrera.com. I also released my first book. It's called "Was It Worth It?" So you guys can get a copy of that as well. And that's it.
Marlo got a lot of things going on, making an announcement, got a book now popping out. Listen, now we're making announcements. Okay, I was going to try to wait for the end a little bit, but I got to break this news, guys. Now, you guys know that, even though the preacher is very smooth for an OG, I know y'all be tired of looking at me. I get it. And also, I understand we have a lot of female viewers and listeners that go, what about us? Well, the wait is over. It is official. Miss Latricia Dolman is now officially part of the Real Talk Sports Show.
Yay!
Hey! That's what I'm talking
so
about.
excited.
Hey,
representing girl power for the ladies.
Girl power for the ladies. So no more. So ladies, it used to be, I used to do every second and fourth Tuesday would be ladies' night. Now every week on Real Talk Sports will be ladies' night. Amen. Well, yeah, man. So we're just excited for you. Obviously, good stuff going on. Do you get involved, Marlo, with any camps at all? Like when COVID's not there, do you do any stuff with some of the other guys and work in the camps?
Yes, I actually work all my friends camp. Whether it's I do a lot of Todd camps. So I do Todd Gurley camps, Mike Davis for the Carolina Panthers. I definitely do his camps. Uh, man, anybody that's in Atlanta that plays in the NFL, I do a camp. So we are real close. So any player that does a camp in Atlanta or from Atlanta, I help with their camps. I also do some in Tennessee with a couple of my friends who from the state of Tennessee. So I mean North Carolina. I said Tennessee, North Carolina. So who a lot of those guys, mostly in Atlanta. I try to stay here for the most part.
Man, listen, we look forward to because good luck. One by next summer, we will be hopefully far past the COVID situation, and then so Tree and myself will be out. I got another cameraman named Jason. Jason, what's up, bro? Hope you're watching. We did a lot of high school football this year. We actually were the official streaming source for Clayton County's Tower Stadium. So we're committed to try to make sure we do some high school stuff. And not only that, man, just bring you guys on to talk about stuff that you guys do off the field because that's to us is almost as important. Matter of fact, it is as important as what you guys are doing on the field.
It is. It is definitely off the field is way important. I mean, on the field is important. Like I said earlier, off the field is just as important. It lets you see what we do and who we actually are, and give you a glimpse of our personalities. And it's just more. It's bigger than football. So that's also a good thing to be seen off the field.
Well, guys,
Definitely.
now you know
It's
that makes the
much
preacher happy.
bigger.
Look, man, like I said, we appreciate you. Appreciate you stopping by and joining the broadcast. We're going to have you back on, especially once the book kind of is in the full launch mode. You can kind of come on and talk about that. And like I said, man, we just want to keep in the mix. It's just this is how we doing the Real Talk Sports Show. So we appreciate you, man. God bless. And hold on, I got a big shout out to Miss Iris Fambro Carter from the Ultimate Dog Nation page who set this up. So we thank you. And like I said again, man, appreciate you, and we look forward to having you back on with us again real soon.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Nice meeting you again.
Yes, sir.
And definitely nice meeting you for the first time, Mr. Trees.
Nice meeting you, and congratulations. Keep up all the great work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Be blessed, bro.
All right.
That was Amarlo Herrera. Yeah, it's kind of cool to come full circle because, like I said, we covered him while he was in high school. And for those of you guys that don't know him, put him in Google and look for some of the highlights. He was a thumper. I'm at that linebacker spot. Tree. He used to bring the hammer. He did not play
I can
at
believe
all.
it. The linebackers, woo, that's no joke.
Yeah, he didn't play. Yeah, he really was quite the thumper. Well, we're going to do this real quick. We're going to kind of do this a little bit early. I'm going to leave this in the hands of my producer, Eli Smith. Now, Eli, I know we still got about 3 or 4 minutes left on WIGO. We appreciate you, but we want to do like an early sign off because I know you guys want to kind of go about your business. Everybody listen to WIGO. We appreciate you. If you want to still be with the action, all you have to do is go to YouTube and go to Real Talk Sports page, or some of you might already follow me on Real Talk Sports on Facebook. Same thing. Log on there on Facebook. Go to Real Talk Sports. Actually, do Real Talk Sports 7. And bam, you can follow the rest of the broadcast. Until the next time we have you back on again at WIGO, you know, I would like to say God bless you and have a great day. Peace.
Yes.
Well, we're going to shift gears now, Tree, because, you know, we've been talking about high school. We've been talking about college. We've been talking about all kind of stuff. So we're going to talk a little football. And before I shift into football, I got to do this. This guy here, I just know somebody snuck into the lockdown living room because that's where we're broadcasting from, folks, the lockdown living room. Somewhere in the green room, I got a guy that knows about basketball. He kind of slipped in. Oh, he popped out. I guess he's gone. Anyway, that was Deshaun Tate. I saw him sneak in. Right. So we're going to bring him on a little bit later. But right now, we're going to bring on the main man. Okay. You guys, I know, always say Falcons this, Falcons that. Well, no more speculation. We bring the guy that really knows everything that's going on about the Falcons. He is the embedded beat writer for AJC Sports. He is a legendary. That's right, legendary, because he's won an award as an award-winning beat writer and sports writer. And he's also an Esquire par excellence. The one and only D. Orlando Ledbetter is in the building. D. Led, what's going on, sir?
Hello, Reverend Simmons. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on Real Talk Sports again.
Hey man, listen, it's always good to have you back on. And the lovely Miss Tree Dolman, I don't know if you heard the announcement, but it's official, bro. She's now part of Real Talk Sports.
All right,
Yay!
congratulations, Miss Dolman. Congratulations. I was
Thank you.
one of the Hall of Fame voters when Chris was going in and did a couple stories on him this time here in Minnesota and here. So glad to
Awesome.
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
We're gonna go to social media real quick. This is the one thing that when we talk about talking the Falcons, people gonna throw some shade. So we got our BCs, socks and patch. I get you, bro. You're a Boston person. What about the Super Bowl? Hey, of course we remember the Super Bowl. We were there. I get it. What can you do? It's just a situation, man, where the Falcons just, they didn't handle their business right. Something that's all I'm gonna say about it. I can't keep getting into this with these guys. They just did not do what they were supposed to do in the Super Bowl. And that's it. Hopefully the next time they get in there, they can do better. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Amen. Well, D-Led, let's get to it. I know that Tree's got some comments as well and some questions. All right. And the beat goes on. Falcons, once again, lose late. Is there something I'm missing here?
No, I think we covered it last week. When you can't fight the whole 60 minutes, they find your weak link in there. And, Kendall Sheffield's 4th round pick, heck of a spot they had him in. He got beat on a triple move, not a double move, a triple move, because they had to double Tyreek and Kelsey. So you had to leave somebody one-on-one. And Demarcus Robinson, Florida guy from Fort Valley, Georgia, put that move on him and got open. And, Pat Mahomes hit him on that ball. So, when you can't close out the games, I think you end up, saying, hey, we need better players. And so that's probably why the general manager got fired. Because, they're fighting. They're not playing hard. They just don't have enough players to make plays. They're dropping balls and, can't run the ball. The Lions getting beat on the last drive. We were trying to score a touchdown to win the game, not leave it to the kicker. So we, it's a team that's going to get a chance to get right here in the future. They got to get some better players on those lines and and move forward.
Yeah, it seems like every week we kind of see the same thing. Tree, what questions might you have for Mr. Ledbetter about these Falcons in their conundrum?
Well, I want to say you said something that really speaks to me because we all know that it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And they have a great time starting great, but then not closing out the game. And that's the most important part of closing out. What pieces do you think that they need outside of getting some more players that can make great plays? But what about the players that we have? What can they do to just get in their mentality that, hey, we have to close out harder than we started?
Well, they have to maximize their opportunities. Okay, when the other team throws you the ball, like they did in this game, early and late, you got to make that interception. It's real simple. It hits you in the hands. I'm talking about Kendall Sheffield on 3rd down in the first quarter. Talking about A.J. Terrell on the last drive. Okay, you got to make the plays when they are presented to you. You can't run past the quarterback when you got a shot at a sack. And they're you're seeing that every week that they're missing their opportunities to take control of the game. They're in position. The coaches got, they can talk about Raheem, he done a great job of getting them in position to make plays, to be in games. Now, he can't go play the game for him. So the players have to step up, Mr. Teresa, and make the plays when the opportunities are there. And it sounds so simple, but it's got, who could blame the kid for dropping the one when he goes up high, hits the ground and can't hold on to it. Now he's going to know to brace his fall and pull that ball a little tighter next time. But this time he didn't do it. Heck of a play. But the other one, when they hit you in the hands, you got to make those plays.
Definitely do.
Yeah, every week we see the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, and D-Led, I posted this when all this happened at the beginning. Let's get up here. This was a frustration. They can't score touchdowns when they need it most. The players don't execute in key spots, and the players are not used to maximizing their skills. And I know me and you have had our conversation about predictable play calling, whether that's the issue or not, but it just seems like week after week we get the same old story.
No, I think that, those are all legitimate concerns for the fans. The play. I'm not a big play caller because I know that those coaches are up there like right now. I mean, like they've been there all day. So, and they've run their plays through computer printouts, and they got them for certain situations and when to call what. And by the time they get to Sunday, they done played that game through their heads 5, 6, 7 different times. So, you can't. They're not calling plays that they don't think are going to work. Andy thought that reverse pitch back to Mahomes throwback pass was going to work. It didn't work because the Falcons had their defensive coordinator and had them ready for that play. I mean, they were running the Chiefs plays better than the Chiefs. So play calling, it's about execution. They got good players. You got to find the weak link, and they were able to find some weak links in the Falcons roster in the secondary. It's got a center starting his first game ever, made 3 penalties. That was going to happen. You put a right tackle at left guard. He got beat by Frank Clark and Chris Jones, 2 Pro Bowlers. You got a Division III third-year guy, third-round draft pick from Temple trying to block Frank Clark and Chris Jones. You kind of knew how that was going to happen. And so, you want the matchups to be a little bit closer. So, and that's just kind of that's going to have to be a part of their future.
Speaking of future, what do you see happening with the Falcons next year? Do you think it'll be a big turnaround, or?
Just speaking of future, I like his music, but not that. Now, reason for me having fun. But I see it unfold in a couple different ways. I don't, and from what I talked to the general manager the president last week, and listened to the owner. Haven't talked to him in a while. They like their roster. They're not going to blow it up. So they think this league is the competitive. They don't like to say parity, but they believe the competitive balance in the league is such that you can get good real quick. They did it in 2008, out for the Michael Vick year, went 11-5, went to the playoffs, thought they were going to the Super Bowl that year, lost in Arizona. They think they could flip this thing pretty quickly. And I don't know how, because I don't see that. I don't see the player. I don't see this roster getting all of a sudden better. I don't see where they're going to get the money from to sign free agents. And, you can't count on rookies. I mean, yeah, they got rookies coming in. They got, 6 of their 7 picks. They might get 3 comp picks. When you start counting on rookies, you end up 4-12. Like they were counting on Marlon Davidson playing next to Grady. Something went wrong there. He can't even get on the field. He's hurt. He's a healthy scratch. So you can't count on rookies. So I'm just here to report the facts. If they can turn it around, that's going to be great. The city will be buzzing again. Folks will love it. We haven't seen the Benz rocking in a while. That'd be nice to see. Quick turnaround without tearing it down. You kind of got to be from the show me state. And, hey, we're here for it. We're going to be there to see it. I'll be there, hopefully, God willing, to report about it. But, hopefully that's the way to go. But that appears the path they're going to try to take.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
You
hope, Trevor. You know about this in your other line of work. You got to give the fans some hope here. You're shaking your head.
Right, man. Look, at the end of the day,
I know you want your running quarterback. They're not gonna get him. It don't sound like, okay. So put your arms around that. You're not getting your running quarterback. Matt Ryan's your guy. You owe him a whole bunch of money. So he's your guy, man. You got to roll with him. I think they're going to roll with him. I don't think the signals are not that they getting ready to blow this thing up and go draft Justin Fields. Now, if they do that, everybody be here for that. Or Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. Look at my face get bright. Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I mean, look, you guys know. I mean, Tree, look, you already know because you've been around the game with your husband before him, so you know the energy that it brings. I mean, so how excited would you be to see a dual threat quarterback make his way into Atlanta?
It would be exciting to see Trevor come to Atlanta. I must also say that, I'm a loyal person. And I think that the quarterback that we have, he plays hard. He has good stats. And I know that some people don't believe in him. Some people think they should get rid of him. I'm actually not one of those people. I think that he's not the problem. Mm-hmm. But I think it would be nice to bring
so I mean, at the end of the day, look, I mean, you guys know I like to kind of poke fun. I like Matt really from the time he got here, and even as he had the ascent, he always was very generous to our program. Because I mean, we're not D-led, we're not AJC Sports, we're not ESPN. So I mean, there's a lot of these guys can just give you the brush off when you're a small outlet, and Matt really never did that. I mean, he always was very cordial. Anytime he had a minute, because the schedule's busy, to give me, he would. So I like the guy. He's a nice guy. He came in here to D-led. He came in here to a cluster. All right. And right off the bat, he turned this to a winning program. So and Mr. Blank appreciates that. I don't want to throw the guy in the butt. I just think that they need to at least look to get a guy in here that will hopefully be his eventual replacement. And that guy, because of the way football itself has changed, that guy has to, I think, be some type of dual threat. I'm not looking for him to run around here like Lamar Jackson, but I do need him to be able to kind of get away from the rush, to be able to do some of these, even some of the stuff that Matt did in the Super Bowl year, these naked bootlegs, the roll, stuff like that. So that's it. Wait, hang on, guys. Listen, somebody done snuck into the lockdown living room. Hold on a second. I'm going to go in here and see who it is. Oh, it's Deshaun Tate, the basketball guru.
Hey!
So now how are you going to see? The D-led, he just wanted to be on. Here's the thing. He's supposed to be on the beginning of the program, but he likes coming on when you're on. So he fronted, didn't come on the beginning. Oh, D-led's on? Also, he pops up in here. So I'm not mad at you, bro. How are you?
When it's free to go back to the Hawks games, I can't wait to go to games again.
I'll tell you guys what. Thank you.
Right now, I mean, the way they're starting off. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. I don't know. It might be a little bit of a delay on my side, but I do appreciate you for joining me, and I know I'm a little bit late to the conversation. Don't get your hopes up for Trevor Lawrence because I'm a Detroit Lion die hard, and I got to have that one. So besides that, I will say enough to say that it's a blessing to be in the presence of three beautiful people and three beautiful hard workers for sure.
I would thank you. Well, I must say hello, my fellow Detroiter. I'm assuming you're from Detroit because I see Michigan State basketball in the back, and you saying that you love my Detroit Lions too. So, yay! I'm excited. Hi, Deshaun. So I'm just okay. I would love to continue to listen to him talk. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, that's how we're gonna do it now. That's it. See, I'm treating D-led. See that? Once she got in the program, now I get bullied. Now, see, first full day as a co-host, immediately I'm bullied. Oh, I like the way he talks. Okay, that's how we're gonna do that. All right, no problem.
I'm just saying, you talk about my Detroit Lions. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's from the D. My mom went to Cass Tech back in the day. She's from the D. I grew up. I was 7 Mile in Greenfield.
Okay. I wanted to Cass Tech. My mother wouldn't let me. I went to Bishop Borges, but Cass Tech is awesome.
So basically, what y'all telling me, I'm the outsider. That's what you kind of telling me.
All these Yankee ties up here.
I get it. I get it. All right, D-Led, I'm gonna throw something out there. Since we're talking Michigan and Detroit, okay. How about this? How about we do a quarterback drop? How about we go Matt from Matt? We send Matt out to Detroit and Matt Stafford here. What you think?
I got something
Play
better
that,
for
George.
you. I would keep
Go ahead.
I would keep Matt Ryan. He's won. He's been in playoffs more. He's a winner. I would roll with him. But how about? I mean, I think I can make you happy. I didn't see the waiver wire today. I try to power down a little bit on Tuesdays. Why don't you call Arthur Blank and tell him to sign Dwayne Haskins?
Wayne Haskins, baby. Yes,
He's out
sir.
on the street. He got fired. We have to keep him out of the clubs that he was going to last week. Now, you know, we got a lot of them here.
Yeah.
But he would be a young guy that could learn under Matt, learn how to be a professional, learn how to conduct yourself, learn how to read the playbook. And you got 2 years, you know, at a modest salary at the end of 2 years, and he can't do it, then you go get somebody else. He's a top 5 pick. He's we can call him up and sign him right now if he cleared waivers.
D-Led, I think you're making some music to my ears, bro. You talking about bringing in Mr. Haskins? Yep.
Yeah, I was bringing him in.
And listen, I think you. Tree, what do you think? I mean, it can't hurt, right?
Well, I think it can hurt. And let me just tell you why.
Right.
As far as his ability, yes, I think it could be a great thing for the Falcons. But I'm a type of person that it's all about following the rules. And for the things that he's done and the reason I feel that he got kicked off of the team, if he was having problems there, then imagine the problems he'll have here in Atlanta. Everybody knows that Atlanta is known for a party city. And if you can't follow the rules and focus during season, then I think Atlanta is really not a great place to come. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, good one too. But I'm like, I see the kids come in and, you know, they eventually grow up. I'm thinking getting cut by his own hometown team, that's some shame in that. So, you know, the will to want to do right the next time, I think, you know, and the Falcons got Kevin Winston, the senior director of player relations, who is well connected to around the city, would know where he needs to go and not go. And if he listens to him, he might be able to save his career and make a lot of money.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I
no
do
doubt.
think that he definitely is looking to save his career, because I know that it's hurtful and a little embarrassing to get cut by his home team that he grew up watching and that he loved playing for. So I do think that I'm hoping that he has learned from his mistakes and that he's looking to actually just appreciate the blessing of being able to play the sport that he loves for a living.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. So, I just would like to see them have that option. You know, get a guy in here that, could in fact learn from Matt. Could in fact give them a change of pace occasionally offensively, while he's learning. Give teams something else to think about when they try to game plan for the Falcons. So, yeah, I mean, if he can keep his head screwed on right, it's worth a shot. I mean, you know, they've wasted their money. They spent their money on others. So I give him a shot and do that. So, listen. I'm first of all, I'm partially joking. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I've been privileged to cover the Falcons for the last maybe 4 years formally. Again, the organization is a great organization. Everybody in there, from the top guy, Mr. Blank, all the way down to people that are just milling around the stadium, they've always not just treated me, but I just watch how they go about their business. They just treat people right. I mean, so I want to see the team do well. Plus, I got to tell you, that Super Bowl year, D-Led, I became an overnight sensation. Well, I told people I was from Atlanta. Oh, you from Atlanta? So, you know how it works. When your team is rolling, everybody calls you. They don't care who you are. You cover the Falcons?
Yeah, I was hot. I was hot.
So, Sean, you know.
My mother was staying with me. She's like, "What, you doing another interview?" I was like, "Yeah, hey, when you hot, baby."
That's it. And Deshaun, you
Right.
know when the Hawks are rolling, same thing. I mean, you know that when the Hawks are doing well, when Georgia Tech is doing well, everybody's dialing you up because you're the basketball savant. So they want to hear from you.
Yeah, man. It's
So we
and
want to.
speaking of, I mean, the Hawks are obviously doing really well right now. So you get those phone calls, and it's always a good thing to be able to get some phone calls that mean a little extra work. I don't know how much more money that means, but it does mean extra work, and I guess that's always a good thing. But the funny part is, though, if you got a favorite team or somebody that you roll with, you got other people that make sure on the opposite side of that spectrum that make sure that when your teams are not doing so well that they give you a phone call too. So let's not forget that part of it, because you get way far too many of those so many of those phone calls that take place as well. So,
Oh, no doubt. And no doubt about it. Well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give you a little spotlight here for a second. You cutting into D-Led's time, but I'm gonna let you get a little pinching here. All right, real
Let the
quick.
young guy on the floor.
Right. Your take on the Hawks 3-0 start, and can they do what we all think and get to the postseason?
yeah, I mean, just as far as the start, I mean, it's great. We went into yesterday evening with 10 teams being unbeaten in the NBA, and that's what, a third of the NBA. And obviously the Hawks are one of them. And now entering tonight, there's 4 unbeaten teams. In addition to the Hawks is obviously the Cavs, the Pacers, and the Magic. And I mean, you have to have a starting point if you're this team. You have to start somewhere, right? So I think that the fan base, the expectations should continue to be low, obviously, because it's much harder to disappoint, when that's the case. But the players' expectations should be high because they know exactly what it is that they have to do. And that's to what you just said, to make the playoffs. Now, we're just basing it off of 3 games. Then it's clear that they're going to make the playoffs. Because they're in the East, I think that betters their chances. They added some experience. They added defense amongst a few other things. And the young guys are all a year older. In basketball, much like any other sport, that always makes a huge difference. So I think that they will get a roster or they will get a spot in the playoffs. Better than a 7 seed, I'm not so sure, but I think that is doable, especially right now. I mean, you've got guys that are buying in, to what the Hawks are trying to do. And so far, so good. Trae Young's looking like a MVP candidate right now.
All right, besides Trae Young, who would be the other Hawk that you think is having, or at least so far in these first 3 games, a season that we need to keep our eye on?
I mean, obviously, John Collins. I mean, I wasn't really high on John Collins coming out of that draft, and I told John that to his face just because I'm just a 100 dude like that, and the fact that I was wrong about that. I stay up a lot of long nights, and this, Rev, doing this stuff 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning when everybody else is asleep, with my head in those books and researching. And I know D. Orlando knows a lot about that because he wouldn't be nearly as good as he is if he didn't put in his work. So I always admire his work, obviously. And that's one guy that I missed out on. And not only did he show that he was worthy of that pick, but there were some other guys that got picked over him, and he made those franchises pay for not taking him. And he not only met the expectations, but he exceeded the expectations. And that wasn't just in John's rookie year. He's elevated his game every single year that he's been in Atlanta Hawks. So I'm not even mad at him for wanting to demand some of that money that he's trying to command right now. I'm not sure if he'll get exactly what he's asking for, but I see a lot of other brothers that are making a lot more money than he is or is asking for, that definitely got it without question. And so it's a business. Sometimes we get caught up and people think this isn't PlayStation. This is a business. And I think that we all understand that. Lloyd understands that and what he needs to do in order to extend his tenure as the Hawks head coach. And I think that they're capable of doing that. But John Collins, the other guy, listen, we're just now seeing, Capella in a uniform. We're just now getting a chance to see Rondo. I mean, they're in a situation where those rotations, they have probably more guys than they can actually afford to play. And that's a pretty good problem to have if you're Lloyd Pierce right now, as opposed to what it was 365 days ago, where you were rushing some of your rookies to grow up. And that's a really tough thing to do.
Well, Tree, what do you think about his analysis there? Do you think he got the Hawks summed up pretty well?
I think so. And I actually agree with what he said about Collins as far as him being an outstanding player. I think that he does come and he's one of our top players for the team. So I'm happy to hear that his opinion is the same as what I was thinking. Shows I'm on the right path.
And you know, she
I'm
likes him,
looking
bro.
forward to seeing what the Hawks are going to do. Like, I used to always go to the games and I root for the Hawks, even though I'm a Piston. But I do also like watching the Hawks and covering them. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they will do this year. And if I can see them go into the playoffs as the 7th seed, that would be a great season for them.
Yeah, she's excited he played that 4, bro, because she played the 4 and 5 when she was in high school. She's like me, a big man. So that's she likes to see the big man have that all around game, shooting a little bit from the outside, rebounding.
That's right. I am a little biased to my big man.
We already know. Listen, brother, you know how we do it. Anytime we have a guest on, before they exit, we like to have them tell the people how they can be found on social media, on blogs, on podcasts, and on the website. So, you know how we do it. The floor is yours.
I like to call it the best, the most entertaining, the most informational, and the most educational podcast, basketball based content on the planet in the form of a podcast called Tate's Take. You find it anywhere you find your favorite podcast. That's iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Red Circle, Stitcher. We stream live on YouTube. We stream live on Facebook, and we get some pretty awesome guests on that thing as well. Listen, high school basketball, college basketball, pro basketball, international level, wheelchair basketball, you name it. We cover it on Tate's Take. So just hover over that little magnifying glass in the search box and put in Tate's Take. You can find it. Also follow along on Twitter as well as on IG or any of your favorite social media platforms, and that's at Tate's Take Hoops, TATES TAKEHOOPS hashtag where basketball lives. So I apologize for coming in late. I was having some audio issues and so forth. Dear Orlando, obviously keep doing a wonderful job, and didn't mean to step in on your time or anything like that. Charge it to my head and not to my heart. But Rev, I really appreciate you. Obviously, per usual, and Ms. Dolman, we're kind of rooting on our Pistons, Lions, Spartans. No Wolverines over here, but other than that, I think that it's okay for us to kind of root on, even if it is in private. So appreciate you for having me on, Rev. You guys be blessed, man, and looking forward to doing this again, hopefully sooner than later.
Yes, sir. Peace. Well, yeah, Deshaun Tate, the young gun. Like I said, bro, he thinks he's slick. He think he's slick, but yeah, he likes to be on D-Led segment. I'm gonna have to school him on some football D-Led so he can come on every now and then on the late night.
Oh, I'm not gonna stand in the way of kids doing their thing. So, I know how time gets lost sometimes. So I'm fine with Deshaun and whenever he wants to come in and help out.
Well, I love him, man. I mean, he's like you said again, he's been a guy that has really been on the rise. What he does, he's been on TV back home in Detroit. Ironically, interesting enough, he's been there. Of course, he was on 92.9 for a minute. So we appreciate him. All right, D-Let, we got a few more minutes left, so we're going to circle back here and close out with the Falcons. Of course, now it looks like maybe kind of they might be the number 4 pick. Kind of once again, through your crystal ball, who maybe 2 or 3 guys you'd like to see him select in that slot?
The mocks I got Trevor and Justin going 1-2. So that would leave them with position players. Micah Parsons, Penn State linebacker. Rousseau, the edge rusher from Miami. And I've seen Patrick Surtain II, the Alabama cornerback. That way you got 2 cornerbacks. You can lock some people up and quit getting these balls thrown over your head like you have been this year, So all that sounds good to me. You want to get somebody that can play, somebody that come in and help you out. Cornerback's easy to scout. Linebacker, this guy's supposed to be a beast. I like to see that, but sometimes you miss on linebacker. So I want the sure thing at 4. If it's the corner or the linebacker or the rusher, take that person.
Tree, I know that you've been kind of sniffing around a little bit. Anybody that you've seen watching a little college football that you might you might like to see being a Falcons uniform?
That to me, I don't know. I have not really pictured who I would like to see in a Falcon uniform. It's kind of like what was said earlier, that it's really with the Falcons, it's not so much a lot of the players. They just need to start performing. So when I look at the Falcons, it's not like I'm watching the game like some teams where I'm watching the game and I'm thinking, oh, I think they need somebody at this position or someone at this position. So a lot of times when I watch the Falcons, I'm really just thinking that they just need to start producing. So I cannot say that I've looked into college and seen anyone that I think, oh, they would be a great Falcon. So what about you? Have you
I got to admit,
besides Trevor?
The same thing. I mean,
quarterbacks.
Right.
Listen, at the end of the day, I mean, I guess what it is that, to be very candid, I mean, what happens when I try to watch college football, I have a tendency to kind of drift and look at the marquee players, especially on offense. Now, one of the things that D-Led and I both discussed, the Falcons, what you want out of a top 5 pick is you want somebody that's going to be a game changer. For me, to be very honest, I don't care who they get. Let's just say you draft a cornerback and Surtain Jr. is the guy. Well, if he is a Jalen Ramsey-esque type of player, if he is a player like Jamal Adams, if he's a player like what's his name that played a few years back that really was a shutdown corner, I'm drawing a blank right now, like Darrelle Revis, I got no problem, because all those guys I just mentioned, they're game changers. These are guys that force teams to scheme differently. These are guys that make other players around them better, because you think about it. If you had a guy who was a legitimate shutdown corner, well, now all of a sudden you don't necessarily have to have a Class A pass rusher. Right, D-Led? I mean, you just have a guy, you just need the guys to get a little bit of pressure, because you got a guy back there that whoever the number one is for the other team, they're not going to do any work.
They're going to hold the ball longer, yeah.
Right. Or in case of Jamal Adams, you got a guy that, or even if you get a guy like a Troy Polamalu type, a guy that from a safety position can play a rover back. Well, now they're a complete disruptor. You don't know if they're going to help you defend against the number one player. You don't know if they're coming off the blitz. Yes, I don't care. I don't care who they get. I just want them to be a game changer. I don't want no bust. Right. That's all I got to say. I don't want no bust. I can't take any more guys that you draft 5 or 6 and you're looking, scratching your head thinking, is this guy going to get to a Pro Bowl, or is he going to stay on the team? Yeah, I'm through with that. Yeah, I'm through. All right, one last question. Everybody always asks every week. Any changes, D-Led, as far as who your kind of eyes are on either coach only or coach GM combo? Or GM only?
Yeah, we haven't heard. I think since we talked last, we can go back on Rick Smith and Anthony Robbins have interviewed. Raheem Morris is, the president told me that he has earned an interview. So that's the only person we know that's going to interview with the Falcons. Eric Bieniemy, we texted last week, and he appreciated my Cover 9 at 9 blog. Said, hey, the Falcons are getting ready to look at, they get an up-close look at coaching candidate Eric Bieniemy last week. So he's there. Everybody's getting ready to be in the mix here as the season's getting ready to end. Brian Dayford in Buffalo, Arthur Smith in Tennessee. Those are Nate Hackett in Green Bay. Those are some of the names we're hearing. Excuse me. Sorry, Reverend.
Sorry.
I might have some coffee here. Clear my throat.
We got to get you some of that. What was it, that Ricola? We'll send you some of the Ricola tablets, man. Help you out, bro. From the Swiss Alps.
Mm-hmm.
Well, definitely, man. Like I said again, all this stuff is we're gonna be talking about this as we go forward into the new year, because that's when gonna be what the buzz is, or who's gonna be the new GM. The coaching carousel is gonna go around. So we look forward to having you back on and to talk about it and to help us keep abreast of what's happening with the Falcons. So we appreciate you. All right, so you know how we do it, D-Led. You gotta let people know how to find out more about you. So now the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Reverend. I certainly appreciate it. Before I go, I want to, I'm getting excited for my Bearcats. That's where I went to law school at. I want to see them. They can handle these Bulldogs on Friday. And but you can find me on Twitter at DOrlandoAJC. And the blog's out in the morning, the cover nines on Calvin Ridley and how he's following Robbie White, and the Bowtie Chronicles podcast, episode 242, drops in the morning at 8 a.m. on AJC.com.
Well, D-Led, we appreciate you. And I will tell you, man, that your Bearcats, we've been blessed to do we've been officially now selected as media to do virtual coverage for the Peach Bowl. And we did get a chance to listen to the opening round of the press conferences. Now, listen, everybody from Cincinnati is saying the right thing, but they got them strapped up. They're ready to go.
Yeah, no doubt. It's their Super Bowl.
Right. And what you do have is what everybody's looking for. You got dual threat quarterback by the name of Desmond Ridder. And the thing I like about him is he does his best work against AP top 25 teams. Like his, I think he's got a 180 or probably a 160 quarterback rating. So, yeah, man, I think the Bearcats are going to give the Bulldog all they can handle here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. All right, D-Led, until next time, brother, thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless. Well, Tree, I mean, this is almost a wrap here. Our first show, and we had some fun, had some little craziness going on there, but that's what we love.
I definitely had a lot of fun. Oh my goodness. Did you plan that on purpose to bring some fellow Detroiters to talk about my Detroit teams?
I'm gonna tell you something. I had no idea really that all. I mean, next year I was outnumbered. I'm thinking, well, she's out here by herself. I knew Deshaun was from Michigan, but man, I didn't know D-Led had these all connections with the Big D, and y'all chopping up about the high schools. I'm thinking, man, now I'm the outsider. Well, how's that gonna work?
Well, it just felt great because my Detroit Lions are my absolute favorite NFL team since I've been a little girl. And then with my husband playing for the Minnesota Vikings and spending time with them. So I also love my Vikings. My Minnesota Vikings are my family. And so my husband, though, always talked about my Detroit Lions. He talked about my team all the time and made fun of me and my team. So it's just nice to also see fellow people who also love my Detroit Lions. So it was just so exciting. Yay, what a great way to have the first show.
Oh, no doubt. So, yeah, and obviously any NFC North team, that's a huge rival. I mean, if you talk to guys, for some reason, everybody in the NFC North doesn't like the other teams.
That's true, because I don't like Green Bay either.
Right. So it's just like, and it's funny because I grew up a Packer fan. My brother grew up a Vikings fan. Yeah, so my brother, he loved your husband. And it's funny because you mentioned the Vikings. So one of the things I did get a chance to do during the last Super Bowl is I did get a chance to interview a legendary Viking from the 70s, still alive, 70-something. I think he's 76 years old, played safety for the Vikings, the great Vikings teams in the 70s. They had Fran Tarkenton, went to Super Bowls 3 or 4 times. Paul Cross. Yep. And he even gave my brother a shout out on the air because we were doing live stream Facebook. Yeah, my brother was no more good. He called, oh, yeah, man, you hooked me up. Appreciate that. I got a shout out. So, yeah, so your Vikings, speaking of that, okay, you look at this team. Here's a team that's went to the playoffs, a couple of times in the last few years. They spent a lot of money bringing Kirk Cousins in. From your observation as a Vikings fan, kind of what do you think is a missing ingredient? And they have a great running back, too. You think everything should be there?
I think that we do have a great team. I just think, honestly, and I know it's some people may think that I'm just making an excuse, but this year with COVID, I just think it really changed a lot of things for a lot of teams. And I really think that that's a big part of the reason as to why the Vikings played the way that they did this year. But it's like you said, we have a lot of great pieces. Some people may not agree with having Kirk Cousins. Some people may have thought that they overspent. I think Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. I think that, yes, can he make some better plays in crunch time? Yes. Does he need to come through a little more? Yes. I think that he's a good quarterback for the team. And I think that we do have a good team. We just need to produce. And this year just wasn't our year. But I do think that next year we'll come back. And I think that you'll see the Vikings back in the playoffs. I just think this was a one-off with everything that went on with COVID. And I'm just putting it on COVID.
Okay, so in other words, this is you're gonna just throw the whole blame on COVID. Hey, listen, you're a fan. I get it. You're a Vikings fan. I get it. You don't want to see your boys taking it, but really, if you look at this team, they kind of are somewhat like the Falcons. They got a quarterback who statistically is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Okay, They do have something the Falcons don't have. They got a stud at running back in Dalvin Cook. I mean, he can tote the rock.
Mm-hmm.
They do have an Adam Thielen, a guy that is one of the top receivers in the league.
Yes.
To me, it was kind of bizarre that they let go of Stephon Diggs. I know he was trying to get out of there, but I would have tried to find some way to make him happy, but that's water over the bridge. I'm sure they got draft picks and do that. So when you look at this team, and defensively, they're very good defensively.
Yes.
So you do look at them and say, hey, kind of what's the missing ingredient? I don't know. I'm just not sure. We're just going to just, I guess, leave it in the hands of Miss Tree Dolman when she says it's all about the COVID.
It's all about the COVID. Mark my words. Next year, the Vikings will be back in the playoff. Mark my words.
Okay, so let me.
I'm saying it now. I'm saying it now. I'm telling it now. Next year, the Vikings will be back in the playoffs.
All right, buddy, you got the date here. This was December the 29th. Tree Dolman, my co-host, has said that the Vikings are, she said, put the G word, guarantee, back in the playoffs. So y'all need to.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right, well, listen, again, for those of you who are just tuning in or are hanging around. Oh, hang on a second. Speaking of tuning in and hanging around, we'll go to social media. And what do we have here on social media? Bam! We have a good friend of the show, our man, Mr. Cornell Hardy, H.C. Hardy, saying Cousins is a good game manager, but he said not a leader. Well, we took a little. Listen, I can't really call him a game manager only because most game managers you think have I don't want to say a mediocre arm, but they kind of are not big throwers of the ball. I mean, Kirk Cousins can sling it now. I mean, don't make no mistake. He can throw the ball. And he's gotten into the playoffs. So had it not been for just some interesting play calling against the Rams, I mean, who knows? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting watching the Vikings, watching the Falcons, which interestingly enough, your husband played for both of those teams. So it's going to be interesting to see how far both of those can go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have done it. Da-da-da-da. We have got through our entire broadcast. And even though I got to tell you at the beginning, I mean, it was really crazy because literally I was running up the stairs trying to get on the air when the show started. I mean, I just had come straight from work and dashed in, but I appreciate you being ready to jump right in there. So
sure.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so excited.
How can we find out more about you?
I'm sorry.
Listen, we're excited to have you. How can people find out more about you? Social media, website, you know how we do it. And we're going to just do this. The floor is yours.
Why, thank you. My social media is It's Latresa. That's ITSLATRESA. And that is my Instagram and my Twitter. I also have my Ms. America International 2020 page on Twitter and Instagram. And that's how you can find me. I'm actually working on my website, which my URL is also itslatresa.com. And that will be a blog. So I'm looking forward to writing motivational, inspirational blogs to help people. And that's where you can find me, as well as on Real Talk Sports every Tuesday.
That's what I'm talking about, guys. Yes, we got some great stuff coming up. Good Lord willing, we'll be making some announcements later on. I shouldn't say later on, really, as we move towards the first of the year, because we certainly are looking forward to taking the Real Talk Sports Show on the road. We are hoping to bring the show down to the Super Bowl in Tampa. And Latresa's already got a bunch of events that she's already involved in herself. And she's kind enough to let us kind of be the fly on the wall, also do some coverage. So we look forward to doing all of that live from Tampa Bay, the Super Bowl 2021, if the Lord does allow. Well, again, we appreciate all those of you who have watched the broadcast. We want to give a big shout out to those of you who are watching on the replay on Periscope. Thank you so much. All those of you watching on demand on YouTube, thank you as well. And again, we just appreciate all those of you who have shared the broadcast and allowed me to share it on so many different group pages, Falcons group pages, the Georgia football group pages, the Hawks group pages, all you guys who support these different teams to allow us to put this broadcast on your pages, man, we really appreciate it. So again, we thank you so much for tuning in and watching the broadcast. All right, guys, until the next time, you know how we do it. We say, God bless you and have a great night. So long, people. Come back next week, though.